Do you have a green card? Are you thinking about traveling outside the United States? There might be some issues when you try to return. Check out this video to learn more. Hey everybody, Barry here with the Lawful channel. On this channel, you're going to find short videos on the legal topics that affect your life. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me in the comment section below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. I'm in Evanston, Illinois again today with immigration attorney Alen. Alen, thanks again for getting together.
My pleasure.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your immigration practice?
Sure. I am an immigration lawyer. I am the principal attorney at Law PC. I feel and am extremely passionate about immigration and immigrants' rights, not the least of which reason is the fact that I come from an immigrant family myself. And so immigration is part and parcel of who I am and really in my DNA.
So today we're talking about traveling outside of the United States when you're here on a green card. Alen, what exactly does it mean to have a green card?
When you have a green card, it means that you are a legal permanent resident of the United States. There are two types of green cards. One is a conditional green card. The other one is a non-conditional green card or a permanent green card. The difference being that the conditional green card is good for 2 years, whereas the permanent green card or legal permanent resident card is good for 10 years.
So if you're here on a green card and you want to travel outside the United States, are there rules or what are the rules about traveling abroad?
If you're going to be spending a considerable amount of time outside of the United States, certainly there are rules to be mindful of, especially if you're thinking about spending more than 6 months outside of the United States.
So 6 months is really the start of the marker to be wary of?
That's right. So if you are going to be spending less than 6 months outside of the United States, generally speaking, you should be fine upon your return. However, if you spend more than 6 months, but less than 1 year outside of the United States, then that raises a rebuttable presumption that you have abandoned your legal permanent residence. That's an important presumption, but nonetheless, it's rebuttable. What that means is that you can come back with evidence to show why you should not be deemed to have abandoned your permanent residence in the United States. I was in Greece because I needed to sell my property. I was in Italy because I had to undergo surgery. The reasons are countless. Now, if you are going to be spending more than 1 year outside of the United States, the presumption is that you've abandoned your residence, permanent residence in the United States. That presumption is no longer rebuttable. Legally, your green card is dead.
So people here on a green card, by and large, are hoping to become naturalized citizens. So if they're here on a green card and they travel abroad, does that have any impact on that?
It does. In order to become a naturalized citizen, you have to meet certain criteria. Those criteria can be affected by how much time you spend outside of the United States. Most notably, you have to meet the continuous residence criteria and the physical presence criteria in order to become a naturalized citizen. If you spend a certain amount of time outside of the United States, your continuous residence and your physical presence can be affected as a matter of course.
So I think what I hear you saying is that if you're here on a green card and you travel abroad and you want to become a citizen, traveling abroad could have a serious impact on that. Is that right?
Absolutely. Any time that you spend outside of the United States can impact your future application for U.S. citizenship. Specifically, as it relates to physical presence, let's assume that you file for citizenship tomorrow. Well, the law says that in the last 5 years, you better have spent half of that time in the United States. So in other words, 60 months, at least 30 months in the United States. That's what we mean when we say physical presence. But in addition to that, there's also the continuous residence requirement. In other words, during this time, during the 5 years, you have to have been continuously residing in the United States. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, any time spent outside of the United States, based on exactly how long, can affect that determination.
So if you're here on a green card and you travel abroad, how do you avoid jeopardizing your green card?
Good question. So if you know that you're going to be spending a considerable amount of time outside of the United States, then you would be well advised to obtain a reentry permit. And the way that you do that is you file Form I-131 with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. What that does is it allows you to remain outside of the United States for up to 2 years and allow you to return without jeopardizing your legal permanent residence in the United States. Now, the time that you spend outside of the United States does not count towards the citizenship calculus, the amount of time that you're supposed to be in the United States, but importantly, it protects your green card from being revoked.
Alen, thanks for getting together again today. This has been great and valuable information on green cards. Now it's time for your take on the law. Are you in the United States on a green card and you tried to travel abroad? How'd it work out for you? Tell us about it in the comments section below. Hey, thanks for checking out this short video on traveling while in the United States on a green card. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe to our channel? And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I'll find someone who can.